Building outpost has about 5 different activities. Each of them are designed to help them work together as a team to solve problems, to come up with unique solutions. Every team we have through here comes up with their own way to solve the problem. It's interesting to watch. And I think the boys are learning something so that when they go out in the real world, 5, 10 years from now when they're working, they realize they have to work together as a team to solve the problems that are going to be faced with.
The small game range is they're able to throw rocks and small animals, hopefully get some lunch if they're a good enough shot. The trapping part, we have a man from Alaska who trapped for 30 years there, showing the boys how to set traps for beaver, lynx, bobcat, wolf, things of that nature.
This is the Yelling Dog Outpost. Here we teach communication skills with on target and mirrors, ham radio, and those type of things.
Rope climbing is another one of the skills, one of the strength challenges. One of those things that we do that they used to do when they set teepees. They learned from the Indians. Log hoist is a skill of rope techniques, about 4 different things that they use to lift a log in the air so it doesn't slip. It's one of the knot tying processes. Again, one of the skills that they learn in Mountain Man. Caber toss, that's just one of those who's the strongest type of thing. It's a pole throw, 360 degree, and we measure it, and it's one of those test of manhood skills. Chip toss is after the buck saw when the 2-man teams cut their disc, and what we do is throw it for distance just like a discus throw. And again, it's a team sport, it's all combined as well as an individual. Buck saw, that's one of the things that we're doing with the 2-man teams. They work for speed, time, and distance. It's a skill level learning process, how to work the saw, how to work the wood. Ore hauling is one of the things we do with the boys. We hook them all up. There's a 4-man pulling a boy on a sled in behind. Like the old days as they pulled even like dog sleds, they used that technique to move material.
What we're showing the young men today is one of the very basic things, making nails. Most people think that nail making isn't very hard, but it really is hard to make it from scratch. When the boys leave here, they're going to leave with a whole new understanding of what it's like to make a nail. Now when they go to the store, they will appreciate one of these very basic things that their ancestors used to do. This is the branding stage. The boys learn the process of branding and why it is used back then. They each have a piece of wood they can brand in their name and take home with them as a nice souvenir. Bull riding. The bull riding station was a lot of fun. It not only tests the boys' strength, but balance as well. Some boys will fall off very quickly, while others will stay on much longer. But either way, they have a great time. Mule packing is where we are taking the camp outfit and we're putting it on the mule to move from one camp to the next camp. So the guys have to take all of their supplies, whatever they're using, get it on the mule, tie it down, securely using the diamond hitch. Then they move it and unload it at the next camp and keep it as neat as possible. This is what the pack mule will look like, minus the diamond hitch. The diamond hitch really looks like a complicated knot the first time you do it. After that, you do it 2 or 3 times and everybody's a pro. You see teams going from 5 minutes, trying to make the knots down to 2 minutes in one try. just because they experienced it. A very simple lashing to keep the pack secure on the animals as you move from camp to camp. Chariot Racing teaches the boys about teamwork. 4 boys pull the chariot while a 5th boy gets a fun ride. They have a course they go through in their time. Gold panning. Each young man can have his opportunity to experience gold panning. They sift through the sand and search for gold just like the old times. Roping. We teach the boys the skills they need to rope a bull. As you can see, our bulls are easy to work with, but at least they get the rhythm and timing down.
Anasazi Outpost is to give the boys an opportunity to learn some primitive skills that would involve various activities that could have taken place in earlier times. We've got, starting off over here, the Doubleball Game. The Doubleball Game involves the making of a leather pouch that we're utilizing and then playing with a stick and throwing back and forth. Beadwork, we've got led by Dick Carpenter, which he has intricate designs, multiple colors, teaching the boys the involvement and the beauty of working with the beads. Flint Knapping is the actual arrowhead, using pieces of glass and chipping, and that is led by Scott Bills. Arrow making is led by Gary Smithson, and Gary Smithson is putting together the actual shaft and the feathers at the end of the shaft, teaching the boys how to put on the twine to make those function.
What we're doing is we're doing black powder shooting, muzzleloader. Mountain men actually shot muzzleloaders. We're using the same type of gun, same balls, same everything that they used. It was a real necessity for them. They trapped a lot of their game, but their bigger game they need to shoot. So boys don't get a chance very often to shoot bigger guns, especially muzzleloaders.
Okay, we're talking just basically basic equipment and parts of the bow. We're identifying all the different parts of the bow, the tip, the limb, the riser, the shelf, the grip, the string, the knock point. On the range we have a safe zone, and then they come in and they have a live or a hot range and they shoot. Then there's spotters to spot for missed opportunities. If they miss the target, the spotter is responsible to help them go find their arrow and retrieve the arrow.
Welcome to the Air Rifle Outpost. Here's where the young men learn how to do better shooting. They learn how to sight in. We've got moving targets, we've got sitting targets. It's done with pellets. They use rifles that are spring-loaded. They have a lot of fun. As you can see, it's very popular. We also have blowguns. They get to use blowguns. This is Mogollon Fun, the old-time trading post. They would have used black powder. This is cheaper than black powder, and the boys have a lot of fun.
Well, we're teaching the boys how to throw the hawks, tomahawks, and the knives. And some of these guys do real well. We've got the palms there that they're throwing into. These guys are learning how to do it. They're preparing for the Coulter run on Saturday to see who does best for their team. So it's a great skill development. And most of these guys do pretty well at it. We're also teaching basic range safety rules.
It's a mountaineering outpost. We mainly do rappelling here. We also have the equipment to do climbing, but we don't do it on our mountain man because we've got too many boys coming through. It takes too much time. Our biggest concern here is safety. We gear them up down below. We have 6 rappels up on the rocks. We have the trained instructors at each rappel location. We do top belaying with a static rappel rope and a dynamic top belay rope. So everybody's tied into 2 ropes. We have redundancy at every point, and our goal is to keep everybody safe.
All right, we're here at the Mountain Man Rendezvous, and we're here to show you Dutch oven cooking. Today, this afternoon, we're making pizza, and it's going to be done in a Dutch oven, 14-inch Dutch oven. The way we run it is we do the Dutch ovens upside down, so we're actually cooking on the lid of the 14-inch Dutch oven. Step 1 is we have the boys come in, and one of the young men go ahead and open up a pizza dough and spread it out onto the top of a Dutch oven. The second young man will spread sauce. The third one will put on cheese. And then the fourth one will put on pepperoni. Once they've done that, we'll go ahead and take it over to our table where we have charcoal ready, and we'll put the heat on it. We put the bottom of the Dutch oven onto the top, and we put the top onto a lid stand so we can put coals underneath, and we put coals on top. And the amount of coals that we put is approximately right around 400 degrees. We let it cook for 10 to 15 minutes until it's done. And then you just remove the bottom of the Dutch oven, and we use a pizza cutter, cut it up, and we just eat it right off of the top of the Dutch oven. And it's wonderful.
John Coulter was a mountain man who had significant experience in his life. He was on the Corps of Discovery with Lewis and Clark. Anyway, as he and his traveling companions were headed back up in exploring up in the northern parts, he and his friends were captured. The Indians were not friendly, and they actually killed his traveling companions. So after taking all of his clothes, they turned him loose and gave him a head start to get away. And they thought this was right, fair game for them to do. It was in the cold part of the year, and I recall him actually having to run miles and miles, at one point jumping in the cold water and hiding under beaver dams and breathing through straws. At one point he actually was nearly caught by one of the braves and ended up taking the spear away from the brave and killing the Indian as he was trying to get to his freedom. He eventually made it to a fort where he was safe, and when his story was told, became kind of a hero among the mountain men at that time. We use the John Coulter story, as we do with most of the mountain men things here, to show the significance of what the mountain men did and their rugged individualism in their lives. The things that they had to go through, the things that they had to know. Those are the points that we try and bring out with our young men as they go through the rendezvous here that we have. The Coulter Run is the culminating event for the Mogollon Rendezvous. On Saturday morning, each team is given a start time and a scorecard. We start them at the beginning and off they go down the road. The first event that they come to is the black powder shoot. Pick their top shooter and he gets 3 shots at a target. The points are scored and then the team leaves for the next event. Flint and Steel fire making. This is done with items that are already there, prepared for them. They show up, take the items, and hopefully they've practiced this the last few days, and so they start a fire and try and do it in the quickest time that they can. Knife throw. At these events, they also pick their best guy, which hopefully they know because they've been doing the events the last 2 days, and they get to throw 3 hawks and 3 knives at the targets. And the team captain then leads them on to the next event. The team captain picks the best archer and is given 3 arrows to shoot and make score for that event. After the archery, they run through the corral over to the mule packing, and they are timed how fast they can get that diamond hitch on there. So they tie the knot and move on, and they get a score for their time doing that. At the caber tossing station, they're given a long pole, and the long pole is to be held in front where they toss it forward. The pole has to go over a designated line and fall forward. This game actually comes from some of the Highland games. The bucksaw station is a big 2-man saw, and they are timed in this event. This event, they cut a wooden nickel off of the log, and they are timed at the event and given a score. They've been, again, they should have practiced this using their passport and the events that they've gone through this last 2 days. The log hoisting actually draws back onto some of their Boy Scout learning that they had to do, because there are several knots that they have to learn to tie. There's a log laying on the ground and kind of a goal post set up. So they take the rope, they toss it over, tie the log, and then lift it up and hoist the log so that it's off the ground, and it has to stay off the ground while they're no hands on the rope. Cardiac Hill is the steepest hill in the camp, the steepest trail. We have lots of rocks on it. There's a water faucet at the top, so it makes it kind of muddy at the top. They run up that hill, they get to the top, back to the flagpoles. They're out of breath, and we take the team captain over where we do the team tie-in event. The team tie-in event, they usually all know what it is, but we don't reveal the knot to them that they're going to have to tie until they get to the event itself. The team forms a circle and puts a rope behind them. Each man has a one piece of rope. They reach out and with the hand from their partner, tie the knot, and then tie the knot on the other side. It takes a real team effort to do it. They step back, hold up their hands in the air, and if the rope holds and holds them up, then we stop the time and give them their score.